All right, Iowa just hit a huge home run in protecting racetracks, in my opinion, and this is a huge, monumental bill, and I think this passing in Iowa sets such a strong precedent and such a strong tone that the rest of the country can start to follow. This is a really strong foothold that Iowa just made into the racing facilities. I don't really know much about Iowa's racing facilities, and I don't think that really plays a huge part in this discussion, but what they just did basically secures the right for racing facilities to operate the way that they have been, no matter what is built up around them. And it's super simple. I didn't really even think of this as an option, but shout out to the people that put this through. Obviously, it's a PRI SEMA supported bill, and I think this is a really important deal. So I'm just going to get into it before I hype it up too much. It's about 2 paragraphs. Super simple, and it just lays it out perfectly. It's just a nice little short and sweet paragraph. It has already been signed into law on April 2025. It was already signed in by Governor Kim Reynolds, and July 1st it takes effect. It passed completely unanimously through the House and the Senate in Iowa, so shout out to them. So let's get into it. So this is the bill. It's nice and short and sweet. It's written kind of odd. Reading it out loud makes it sound funky. Honestly, I read it a few times and just reading it out loud. So I'm just going to summarize it. It gives immunity for nuisance claims. The bill stipulates that a racing facility or racetrack cannot be subject to nuisance taking or similar legal actions by surrounding property owners if the facility existed before the property owner acquired or developed their property. So, if the racetrack was built in the 60s and you build a house there in 2025 right next to it, you actually don't get the right to complain anymore. They will just throw those out. That is what Iowa is saying. Those claims are null and void. And then it defines racing facility or racetrack is defined to include areas where competitive vehicle and motorsports races are conducted, encompassing tracks, spectator areas, garages, and associated grounds or buildings. Interesting that garages are included. The protections apply to facilities located in Iowa prior to the date the surrounding property owner acquired or improved their property. So, how cool is that? The property is now grandfathered in if you were there before the surrounding properties, but that also means that if there's an empty piece of land and somebody buys it and builds a racetrack, those people around there do get to complain, but if they end up selling, then the new people that develop or buy it don't get to complain. So it's not just for old stuff, it's for developing stuff and new stuff. I really think we need something like this in Florida. I think that this would be a really strong precedent for all the racetracks, because right now it's kind of just one of those things. We're fighting Bradenton like locals, but what is going to save everyone that all the racetracks can get behind, whether that be Orlando or Gainesville or the one up in North Florida Motorsports Park, or there's another one being built, things like that. If this kind of law could be enacted, basically the exact same law, copy and paste it, this would help all of the Florida racetracks. And I think this is something that really should be pushed. And now that this is brought to my attention, I think this should be campaigned across Florida. So shout out Iowa for leading the charge. Shout out to the good people that brought this forward and the people that brought it to my attention. And I think Florida needs it. So that'll do it, guys. If you like this kind of stuff, hit the subscribe button, but I will see you next time.